There is no doubt that the nation's education sector has continued to deteriorate. This has been attributed to failure of successive administrations to improve budgetary allocation to this sector. Over the years, education has been bedeviled with challenges ranging from inadequate funding that has impacted negatively on the already poor infrastructure, lack of teaching and learning tools, increasing number of out-of-school children, among others. It is not surprising that recently, the United Nations Children Fund (UNICEF) raised the alarm that the nation faces learning crisis as about 70% of children in schools could neither read, write, nor perform basic numeracy tasks by age 10, as deduced from the National Learning Assessment in 2017. While the federal government is yet to meet the UNESCO's 27% benchmark for funding education and 6% of the gross domestic product. Respective state governments are not faring better either, as they are also guilty of low education budgetary allocation that barely take care of basic infrastructural needs and provision of needed tools to make learning conducive. Despite this alarming situation, some experts believe that it is not yet uhuru, as the government must begin to demonstrate the political will to change the narrative and place the sector at the front burner.
Putting in more money, putting in, and not just money. You can't just throw money at things anyway, because sometimes if you just throw money at things, it's not going to solve it. So yes, we need to put in more money, and when we put in more money, we need to look at how that money is being spent.
There is need for government at all levels, especially the federal government, to increase the budgetary allocation to the education sector. The 2% allocation they are getting is grossly inadequate to fix most of these infrastructural facilities in schools, in learning centers across the entire country. So if the federal government can actually look in that direction by increasing the total budgetary allocation, it will go a long way in fixing some of these problems the sector is facing.
For Dr. Uche Anune, editor with the News Agency of Nigeria, there is need for the government to prioritize teachers' quality and training among other key interventions for a more responsive learning outcomes.
How much is spent on building the classrooms? How much is spent on providing the children with the atmosphere to learn, where they have recreational facilities? How much is used in providing libraries, laboratories? Some of the laboratories are as good as some schools. Nothing changes. Some of them don't even have the simplest of chemicals and reagents. So these are the areas, I think, that if we want to really discuss and be serious about learning outcomes, we must, as a matter of fact, take a look at the quality of infrastructure we provide for the students, and also for the teachers.
The Executive Secretary of the Universal Basic Education, Dr. Hamid Boboye, on his part, commended the efforts of the Buhari-led government to funding education, especially at the basic school level. He, however, lamented that such funds are yet to yield the desired results.
50% of our entire collection goes as matching grant. It's the largest component. If we are given 100 billion, 50 billion goes for this activity straight. So it's not a small engagement. The resources that are going there are quite huge in terms of supporting states to ensure that they could add infrastructure, they could maintain their existing facilities. But at the end of the day, I think all of us feel that there are serious challenges in the utilization of some of these resources, particularly in coming up with the kind of infrastructure that can stand the test of time and can serve the purposes for which these had been established.
The option for a state of emergency to be declared in the education sector with drastic interventions on critical areas of need to ensure timely release of judicious utilization of funds, more radical approach to tackling infrastructural gaps, teachers' quality, among others, might just be the magic wand to address the learning crisis in the nation's education sector. CNN News.